So welcome to part 2 of our video Best Practice in Appery Development Implementing a Color Picker. This video picks up where part 1 left off. So once we last left our heroes, we had just successfully created our color picker example where it essentially fills our list box with colors and then colors each element in the list the color that's listed here. So this is actually red. This color number is actually this weird goldish yellow. Here's our purple color and some other interesting colors along the way that users might want to have some of their items. Later I'll show you this list as part of one of our UIs so you can appreciate maybe some of the uses it might have in one of your applications. So what's left to do here is once the user clicks on one of these, essentially, to put it up in their selected color list or number, and then show the color, and then collapse up this collapsible so that your UI has space for other things that are going on, because surely you're doing more than picking a color on one of your UIs. So what's left to do is essentially when the user clicks here, save the color number to local storage, and then collapse this up and put data in the two labels that we had in our UI. So back over here at our designer, on our start screen, our desire is to collapse this back up and then put the name of the selected color, one of them in here. Let's see which this label is. So this is the selected color number, and then put the color of the selected color here. So that's the code we'll do right now. So in order for this to succeed, we'll need one more element in local storage. So we'll go to Model and Storage. We'll go over to Storage, and we will enter a local storage variable of a color number, which is meant to hold the string value of a color. So I like to say my first letter of all of my things, all my variables is the type. So S for string and A for colors. This will be no different. We're ready to go. We'll press save. We'll go back over to our UI. We'll uncollapse our collapsible here again. And then we will go to the click event on this label. And we like to sense the virtual click because it covers more ground than the click. And then when the user clicks on that, we'll set a local storage variables by doing that. And we're going to set variable name to sColorNumber. We're going to bind it to a component on the screen. And the component we're going to bind it to is our label color number. So we'll look for label color number, right? And we'll bind it to the text property on there. We'll click save. And then we've got only one other thing to do. Well, a couple of things to do, but we'll do it all in JavaScript. We want to collapse this collapsible. That's one job. And then we want to put the color number, or the color here. We want to color this item the color, and we want to put the color number in this component here. We've got some JavaScript to do that. So what we'll do here is on virtual click, we'll run some JavaScript. And here's the JavaScript that we'll do. So I'll go through this reasonably slowly. On the data label selected color, which is this one here, we're going to make the background color equal to the color number that's in local storage. On the color number, we're going to make the text equal to the color number, so here. And then on the text for selected color, we're also going to put the color number. And then what we're going to do is we're going to trigger a collapse on our collapsible. So this collapsible, which is called the mobile collapsible block color picker, we're going to trigger a collapse event by telling the collapsible to collapse. On the flip side, if you want to expand a collapsible, you type in the words expand here. So pretty easy to collapse and expand your collapsibles just by this one command right here. Oops, that one right there. So we'll click save. And then we're ready to test our application again. So we'll click test, go over to our mobile preview, and we're ready to go. Let's pick a color. Okay, so here we go. Let's pick this blue color. Click, and what happens is our collapsible has collapsed, and we have our color number here and shown here, and we have the color number all by itself sitting here. A cleaner implementation might be hiding this particular collapsible and just leaving the selected collapsible. So let's do that. So back over here in Designer, let's take this element right here. Let's not make it visible. Let's click Save. click test again. Okay, and then we'll pick a color. Let's pick our blue color again, and there we go. The colors appeared there. Let's try red, and red appears, and let's try purple. Purple appears. So anyway, a couple ways to pick a selected color, and this thing then appear on your UI. Might have a little bit extra space here, but that's easy to clean up. So I did a little cleanup. I moved that one label that we're not going to use over to here, and we've hidden it. And I've moved my color over here, and then I moved up in the grid. I moved my collapsible up, and then I changed the number of rows to 3. We'll run it again just to see what it looks like. Save and test. And again, you can clean this up more, a little bit more on your UI if you wish. And there's your final implementation. Clean this up a little bit even more. You could put a grid around it or something along that line to make it look a little cleaner. So I cleaned up our grid a little bit. I kind of like grid lines in some of my UIs. So I had a border thickness on both of my grids to 1 on the main grid here. Which one on here? I had a border thickness of 1. And then on our other grid, this data entry grid, where we've got these 3 here, I also implemented a thickness of 1. And excuse my dogs. So we'll test that. We'll run it, see what it looks like. And we will click open. And we'll select our color, and lo and behold, the colors still work. And black, and we can pretty much pick it anyway. So I hope this video was helpful. A couple things we'll do is I'll show you how we've used this in one of our apps real quick. So we've got an app where we're doing some advanced calendaring and stuff like that. I'll show you what is running here real quick. I like to watch the trace, make sure things are happening as I anticipate. I realize that's kind of geeky, but it is what it is. I'll log into our app. Give it a second. Go over to our admin screen. And we've done this in our activities section. We let the user pick a color to associate with a particular activity. So for example, a medical event. Here, they can associate both an icon and a color. So here we've got the color picker implemented, and we can pick that color, and that's the color that goes along with a summary of the activities that comes up in the database. So anyway, interesting use for the color picker. Thought I'd go over that really quickly. So let's wrap this up really quick. Okay, so to finish up the video, you can get all of the plugin that we just created on our website, so www.software studio. It's under a page called Appery Videos and Free Plugins. I've loaded the plugin there, and then I've also loaded a link to this video, and then also documentation and as well as the data that's needed. So just that spreadsheet that you found or saw here that has a color name and color, that's there free for importing into your database, and some quick instructions on how to do so. So I hope you had learned something in the video. If you have suggestions to improve this video or other videos, please feel free to email me at the email address shown here. And then there are other videos in our series. We already have a video out there, Best Practices in Creating Services. We also have Creating a Color Picker. That's this one. There will be a video out next week, late next week, called Using Dynamic Collapsibles. So collapsibles that are based on data. So the number of collapsibles and their titles, things like that based on data you might get back from a service. Extremely useful in your application. We have a video that we'll have on in-app purchases, essentially how to monetize your application on both the Apple Store and on the Android Store. And then we've got some other topics coming, TBD, and what those are and what the order is. So thanks very much for listening again. Hope you have a great day or evening, and thanks again.